What's your idea of a perfect Superman, and where do you get it from? Does he come from the Christopher Reeve movie, the DCAU, the Snyderverse, or a popular comic run? For me, I would say that it's all of the above, except for Zack Snyder's version of Superman. Don't get me wrong, Henry Cavill did a great job with what he was given. Zack Snyder just simply did not cook. But the point is that I have a specific version of Superman in mind when I'm watching or reading anything with him in it. So with that being said, let's talk about how this show did with this version of Superman. Now I do want to give a spoiler warning, as I will be talking about certain things that happened throughout this season, and let's get into it. I want to start off by saying that My Adventures with Superman Season 2 came in hot, as it was released less than a year after the first season. And to me, it started off strong. We pick up right where we left off from last season. We get to see Clark and Lois's relationship, as well as an update with Jimmy and the Flamebird. I remember in my last Superman video saying that they rushed the relationship between Lois and Clark, and I still feel that way, but I will say that the way that they used them this season was way better than I anticipated, especially because in most Superman media, the death of Lois Lane usually turns him evil, and throughout this season you get to see how important she is to him. We got to see some characters return like Amanda Waller in Task Force X, the supporting cast from the Daily Planet, Vicky Vale, and maybe some other people that I'm probably missing. But we also got introduced to a lot of new characters. Characters like Supergirl, Brainiac, John Henry Irons, Lex Luthor. We even got a cameo from Silas Stone. And I have to say that when I saw Lex Luthor, I got immediate PTSD from Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. I mean, they look really identical outside of the glasses. And to be honest, this version of Lex Luthor was a loser as well, but hopefully he does better next season. We have to stop making Lex Luthor look like a loser. You seriously expect me to believe that this guy can go head to head with Superman? No. To be honest, he looked like he losing a fight to Jimmy. And I don't know if you noticed, but Kara's design looks very similar to Android 18 from Dragon Ball Z. And I couldn't pinpoint it last season, but Mr. Mxyzptlk's design looks very similar to Supreme Kai's. Now, if you make Superman Goku and Jimmy Olsen Krillin, then this is really just Dragon Ball Z without the magic Dragon Balls. But back to the show, I didn't really have a problem with the voice actors. Outside of Brainiac's, his voice just didn't fit the character for me, but everyone else did a great job. I think that the action is really good, especially the fights between Task Force X, Superman, Supergirl, and Brainiac. Another thing that I really liked about this season was that the whole supporting cast received character development. We had Lois and her father issues, Jimmy not feeling like a good friend, General Lane trying to protect Lois, and Supergirl's situation with Brainiac. And while all this is going on, we have Clark feeling isolated due to his relationship problems with Lois. It was a good story that had me locked in for the whole season. Now I want to say that compared to the other adaptations of Brainiac, this Brainiac definitely feels like the weakest one. Lore-wise, he's one of the most dangerous beings in the galaxy. But in this show, it seems like his biggest feat is just mind controlling Supergirl and having her do most of the dirty work. And while the show tries its best to show that it takes more than Superman and Supergirl to take him down, he still looks very weak compared to his counterparts. Now, there was an angle that they were playing during this season where Amanda Waller and Lex tried to turn Superman into a public enemy. I wish that they played more into that, as it would have made Superman's character development even better, as he would have dealt with adversity from the public, his actual enemies, and his failing relationship with Lois. Now, I will admit that this show does get a little cheesy at times, but I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. In my head, Superman has always had a little cheesiness in him, and that's okay. I feel the exact same way about Captain America, but I still like him as well. I also think that this interpretation of Superman is really good, and overall, it was a solid season. Now, I know a couple months ago, we were teased with Superboy being introduced for the next season, and I'm looking forward to it. But that's all I got for this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Shanadachi, and I'm out.